Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I have my update review on the PMD Beauty Kiss Lip Plumping device for you guys. Now, I do want to say really quickly, if you have not seen my first video, I do encourage you guys to go watch that. I will have that linked for you guys to check out. In that video, I do tell you a little bit more about the device, and I do a demo of it and share my first impressions. And I let you guys know that I would be doing an update for you guys after using this for about a month and let you guys know my results. But before we do get into that part of the video, I do want to quickly just say that this is a sponsored video. I was sent these products for free to review, and I am being sponsored in this video by the Primp Network. But regardless, all my thoughts, no matter whether my videos are sponsored or not, I'm always going to give you my honest opinion. I'm always going to tell you the pros and the cons of a product and let you know my honest thoughts, because that is important to me, and the relationship and the trust that you guys have in me, it means everything. So I would never lie to you for the sake of a dollar. But I just want to let you know that this is a sponsored video. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and just get into it. I just want to share my results and my final thoughts after using this for about a month. And I keep saying about a month because I didn't use it every single day. So I had planned, it was my thought that I would use this every single day, just so I can see, like, give it like the really test, like give it my all to see if this is gonna work or not. But that just didn't happen. I started out with the first week using it every night, and then probably in the daytime as well, probably about 3 times in a week. And then after that, I kind of faltered off. Like on the weekends, I didn't really use it. And then the following week, I only used it like 3 days out of the week. And so I didn't use it like every single day for a full month, but I did use it for pretty much a month of time. And that being said, I feel like it makes my results and it makes my final thoughts and review that much better, because I didn't actually use it every day, and you don't have to use it every day to get results. So with that statement out of the way, you might have guessed that my end thoughts are positive. I don't know about you, but I can definitely tell a difference just looking at my face now, just looking at my lips. And I did take after photos as well as video that I will be showing you guys side by side, so you can see for yourself the comparison, you can see the difference. And I do want to mention really quickly, I really wanted to make sure that the photos I took weren't just like zoomed in and dramatically like different than the first ones I took to fake looking bigger or fake looking different. Like I really wanted to be like, so I thought to myself ahead of time, what am I going to do to make sure that I take my photos and videos the same exact way as I took them for my before photos. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna get a ruler and measure the distance between my lips and the camera to make sure I'm the same distance each time I take a photo. And I don't have a ruler on hand. You'd think I have 3 children, I don't have a ruler in the house. I don't know. So what I used was actually this palette of mine. It just like this, and so this was the distance that I kept my lips from my camera lens every single time I took a photo. So one's not super zoomed in and one's not zoomed out, so you know, to fake something looking bigger than it is. So these are taken at the same distance away. So just so you guys know that. But even regardless of size, I definitely think there is a difference in my lip texture. I mentioned in my first video that I have very liney lips, and I was hoping this device would help my lips look more smooth, because it promises to do that, as well as full. And so there was definitely a difference in that, and there is definitely a difference in the color of my lips. You could also see that in, I believe, the up close videos as well as the photos, how my before photos of my lips were pretty drab looking. The color was just kind of drab looking. And after using this device, even the very first time, that was one of the things that was the most noticeable, was the color on my lips. The vibrancy and the youthful color really brought back to my lips. Of course, this is a suction device. You're kind of getting that suction, almost like a hickey effect, but it stays. It's not just something that goes away. Like, it's a long-lasting effect, and you can tell my lips just look more youthful and more healthy, and I love that. Another thing I mentioned in my first video was that even though I do have kind of naturally more full lips, I don't have super thin lips, but my upper lips are more on the thinner side, and I feel like I notice a difference with them being more full up there too. And I don't think it's just my imagination, because you'll be able to see in the photos like that there is a difference, and it blows my mind. I don't know, I'm just like, I feel like giddy about it, almost excited just telling you guys like, yes, this thing really works, and I am fully amazed by that. And not only just seeing a difference in my lips from before and after photos, but I can literally feel a difference in my lips. They feel different. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story that might seem totally random, but it relates a little bit. So when I was pregnant with my second child and started gaining some weight, I remember this weird feeling in my back, and I was just like, what is that? It feels so weird. And I realized that I had gained back fat, and yeah, but I had never had it before, and now that I did, I can feel it, and it felt very weird, and I noticed it. It was a noticeable difference, something that wasn't like that before, that it was like that now. And I feel like in the way this relates is that it was the same way with my lips. Like, I could tell my lips just felt different. I don't know how else to explain it, except for they just, especially right here, my upper lips right here, felt different. They felt like there was more there. But just kind of a funny story, and I feel like that's exactly how it felt with my lips. Like, I'm like, they just feel different. They feel more full. They just look like I could just, I don't know, they just feel, I could feel more of them there, if that makes sense. It sounds so silly, but it's so true. Okay, so that's enough of my rambling excitement over this product. I don't know, I can't help it. I get excited when something really works, something that you might be a little bit skeptical about. That's kind of how I felt when I first tried this. I'm like, I was a little bit skeptical, and I was really worried actually for a bit before I really tried it. I was like, what if this doesn't work? What if there is no difference? I will have to say there is no difference, and I will have to tell you guys, because I'm always going to be honest with you, that this didn't really do anything for me, and that would have been a really big bummer, because I want it to work. And obviously if it didn't work, I would have to tell you whether I was being paid or not. And something I want to note is that I don't get anything out of convincing you guys that this works. Yes, this is a sponsored post, but I'm only being paid to post this. I don't get paid if you buy this. I don't get paid anything extra, if anything. You know, I get paid whether this works for me or not. So whether you guys buy this, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do anything for me, but it just makes me excited that this really works, and that I can share a positive review with you, because it's hard to be negative, but it is necessary sometimes. So anyways, I just want to put that out there, and because this is such an expensive product, I don't know if I mentioned that or not yet, it is exciting that it really does work and does what it says it's going to do. And in that, saying that, because this is kind of more of an expensive product, there is a discount code through the Primp network. I will put the code on the screen here for you guys to check out. I will also have it in the description box for your convenience. So that is a bonus. If you do want to purchase this, you can at least purchase it at a discount. All right, now that I got all that gushing out of the way and my excitement over the fact that this really works, there are a few extra things that I did want to mention about it. There is one thing I don't like about it, actually, and I'm going to talk about that. But before I get into that, I just wanted to mention that this is a device that I think works the best in the long run, which is, it's what it's made for. While yes, when you first use it, you can get like an instant result, it's not dramatic like my very first one was. There is a slight noticeable difference, but it's not dramatic. I feel like it works the best as you keep using it. The other thing is that this says you do it for, I think, 10 to 20 pulses. But what I learned was it's safe to use as much as you want. So because I was skipping days and using this, when I actually had the time to use it, I would actually do it for a lot longer than the 20 pulses. I'd leave it on my lip for, I don't know, I didn't even really count. I just left it there for a bit while I was working. Like if I sat at my computer and I was editing a video or editing some photos, I just sat here and let it like do its thing on my lip, and then would randomly switch to the different sections of my lip, and it's safe to do that. The other thing I noticed is that if you get this and you use it and you want a really like the most dramatic effect, be sure to do it the day before. Like if you're going out to an event, or maybe you're on a date or whatever you're doing and you want to make sure your lips are popping, Do this the day before, and I promise you, you will wake up the next day with your lips looking, they will be looking more plump. Like that happened to me, I don't know how many times I could count, where I was using this the day before and the next morning I wake up and my lips are looking so luscious and so amazing. And then again, if you want, use it again that same day you're gonna go out or do whatever, and then put your lip gloss on, your lipstick on, and your lips are gonna look great. Which is weird because you think doing this, the results would only last like an hour or something, or whatever it takes, but I honestly felt like the next day I woke up and my lips looked that much more luscious. So yeah, it's really, the longer you use this, the more it's going to improve the look of your lips. Now, the next thing I wanted to mention about the device itself is it comes with this Smart Lip Plumping Serum. And again, like I mentioned in my first video, it's not really a serum. I think of serum and I think of something liquidy. This is a very thick, almost paste-like balm cream that you use with the device. And I remember looking at it thinking this thing is rinky dinky. It is super tiny, like you're probably gonna have to buy another one separately, and I wasn't sure if you could buy another one separately, but you actually can. But this little one comes with the kit when you initially buy it, and yes, it is tiny, but like I said, I've been using this for about a month now, and I think it's like, see if I can look in the light, I think it's like to right here. That's all I've used. Like you don't need much, so that's nice. I wasn't sure. I was thinking, am I gonna go through this, you know, really quickly, and I didn't. I still have quite a bit left, and so that's something that's really awesome that I wanted to make sure to note. The second thing I want to note is that I mentioned that it came with an extra one of these little lip pieces where this comes off. And I thought it was just kind of like an extra bonus piece just in case like this one got ruined or got dirty, but it's actually 2 different sizes. And so I don't know if you can kind of see here. This is the one that starts out on it. This is the one I initially used, and I actually didn't switch to this one till about midway through doing my review because I just thought it was an extra one. I didn't think anything of it, but I took it out and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a different size. So I put this on halfway through as well to use it, and I thought it actually would work better for me because I have thicker lips and this is such a smaller little suction area that I thought, oh, maybe this will be better for my lips. And so I did use this for a good portion of the time, but then I ended up switching back to the smaller one because I actually think that the smaller one for me personally gave more of a suction. Like I can definitely tell a difference when I use this one where I really feel it suctioning my lip, whereas this one feels a lot more relaxed. And so you still get a suction, but it's very much so relaxed, if that makes sense. So I originally was thinking, after noticing the size difference, that one would be like for thinner, smaller lips and one would be for bigger, plumper lips, and maybe that's the case, but I also just think that the smaller one gives a more like, what's the word I'm thinking of, targeted suction, whereas this kind of, it does take up more of your lip and it feels more relaxed. So I wanted to mention that. So I do think that's neat that it does come with the 2 different sizes. I actually like the smaller one better. And that brings me to the very last thing that I want to talk about, and that would be the one negative I have about this product. So in any review I do, whether sponsored or not, I'm gonna list the pros and the cons. And while I didn't find many cons with it, like I said, this is the one thing I thought that was a downside aside from the price, because I know it's an investment, but I really wish this wasn't so loud. And I get it, it's like a little vacuum thing and their vacuums are loud, but I just wonder if there's any kind of technology yet where you could have a quieter motor or a quieter something, because this truly is loud. And I didn't really think about that when I did my first impressions video because I was thinking of a bunch of different things in my mind. The last thing I was thinking about was the sound of it. But as I use this more and more, I just kept thinking, gosh, it's so loud. And oftentimes I would do this at night before bed, and I was doing it in my bathroom, so the sound just like echoes in there, and I was just like, this is kind of annoying. And for those who want to hear it, here's what it sounds like. I don't know if that sounds so loud to you guys, but it's louder when it's actually on your lips. So you hear that sound. And so say you're gonna do this for 2 minutes, which is the recommended time about, it's like 2 minutes of this really obnoxious sound. I really like wish wasn't there. So if they ever do an update with this kind of machine, that would be my one recommendation. If they could make it quieter, I think that this would really have no cons to it, because it would be nice to be able to sit there, like if I were watching TV or whatever, and be able to do this, but I can't, because you can't hear anything and people around me probably don't want to hear it. So like I said, oftentimes when I would use this, I would either use it at night before bedtime as kind of like my nighttime routine, or in my own office where I'm by myself and I'm editing when no one's going to be disturbed by the sound and I'm not needing to listen to anything else. And then I would do this. But yeah, it is super, super loud, and that's my one con to this thing. But overall, the fact that it does what it says, and I have seen a result and a difference in my lips, I am very, very happy with this product, and I definitely would recommend, if you have the money to invest in this and you want to see a difference in your lips, you want to be able to help build up collagen in your lips, you want your lips to look more, you know, vibrant in color and bring back a youthfulness, like luster to your lips, is that a thing? Then I recommend this, because it really works. I'm very, very happy with the results of it. And so yeah, that is about it for my update. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, anything that I might have forgotten, please leave them in a comment for me to answer, and I will try to get back to you. I asked if anybody had any questions in my first video, and no one really had any questions for me, so otherwise I would have been able to answer those now. But like with my last video, I do plan to do a blog post to go along with this video. So if there are any questions you guys have, I will be sure to include them there, or you can go ahead and hop on over to my blog, and if I remember anything that I might have forgotten, I will be including it in my blog post as well. So links to that will be in the description box of this video for your convenience to check out if you want to. Links to this product, the discount code, and anything else you guys might need, definitely be sure to check out the description box as usual. I try to make everything as informative and helpful and convenient for you guys as possible, so always check there. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, share it with your friends, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes.